Good to go. So I missed the first half of the finals game
Mhm.
because I was in this play, and you jokingly, I assume
You was at
jokingly.
it or you was in it?
No, I was at it. I was at it. I was in it.
Okay. No.
But you jokingly said if I was at the dollhouse, is that the name of it? The one that David Sampson was at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you say that, but coincidentally, the play that I was at actually does have a Levitard show connection to it,
Interesting.
and that is that the whole reason I went to the play was because the guy who played. Have you ever seen this show, The Good Place?
Uh, no. I mean, that's a Mike Sure
It is a Mike
vehicle,
Sure,
no?
yes. So the guy, one of the main characters from that show, was the lead in this play, and that's really the only reason that I was interested in going, because I like that show, The Good Place. So
Hmm.
there is a little bit of a Mike Sure connection there.
Mike Sure.
Mike Sure. So
We
did
can
you?
go
So
some.
what did I miss in the first the first half of game one? Because by the time I got to see the game, it was
Well,
uninteresting.
I mean, it was Aaron Gordon going off like crazy. Um, Jokic wasn't like I don't think he might have scored 2 points in the first quarter, but it was just like the rest of it was just like him like having assists and doing all the other shit. And I could tell Jamal Murray was gonna get hot, and you can tell that like those shots weren't falling, like the Heat shots,
Yeah,
like they were
I
taking threes, and like you could just because the way I knew that they weren't going to um they weren't going to win because there was a couple shots, there was a couple 3-pointers that in all the other games, like halfway to the basket, you're like, okay, that's going in. And like early on, like I think Caleb Martin had some air balls, if I'm not mistaken. Gabe, it might have been Max Struess. It might have been Max Struess, but like uh Caleb Martin was off. Like, and you can tell Gabe Vincent still kind of did his thing, but he started off a little bit slow. It seemed like, and it just looked like from the beginning, I was like confused why Jimmy Butler was guarding Jokic and Gordon. Like he's guarding the biggest dudes on there. Like I don't know. It just looked. It didn't feel like they were gonna win this game. Like even though like they got it close, like in the second half, and it was like because I think in the beginning of the third quarter they started like like showing signs of life. Then the Nuggets pulled away again, and then in the fourth quarter they got it down. I think to under 10. I think at some point, and then it was like one of those games. Like it was one of those games where like they've done it multiple times, where you feel better about the Heat when they're losing by a lot in the beginning of the game because you know that they're going to slowly chip away at it, and that's what happened. But like the Nuggets didn't let it like get they didn't let it get close enough to where they would be nervous about losing that game.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I forget who I was listening to, but I was just listening to some of the reaction to the game, and somebody gave the old classic line of analysis, which is, the finals. It wasn't as close as the final score would indicate, and it was funny because I was thinking to myself, that's how the Heat play. That is their
Yeah.
whole entire plan. It's like we're going to let you think that it's not as close because you have a lead, and it's like you
Yeah.
just chill with this. You get out to a 10-point lead, you stretch it out to a 15-point lead. We're gonna call a timeout. We're gonna cut it down to 10. Then you're gonna stretch it
Mm-hmm.
back out to 18, and we're just gonna play this game where we keep a distance of like of they're they're doing like they're following you in a car, but they don't want to get too close because then you're gonna see them
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
So you,
like
yeah.
they keep
So
that.
you're behind the car behind the car.
Yeah, exactly. And they keep like this little whatever. It's like a anywhere between 10 and 20 point distance. And it's like, oh, we're up 10. Oh, we're up 12. We're up 15. We're up
Mm,
12. We're up 8. And then like it's the fourth quarter and it's like, yeah, we're up 10. We're up 12. We're up 6.
mhm.
Oh, we lose.
Yeah.
Like that's like the whole plan. Like the whole
Wait a
strategy
second.
is
Like the team is like the team is playing and like they're feeling good and then all of a sudden they look up like after they've been up the whole game by like 20, 18, 16, and then they like rub their eyes and then they look up and it's like a 6 point lead and then Butler goes to the line for 3 free throws and then Caleb Martin or Duncan Robinson hits a three and it's a tie game and then everything is going haywire, as Ray from North Carolina would like to say.
exactly. And you know that's pretty much how they almost caught Boston in game 6 because it was like they I mean if it wasn't for that that Derek White putback with half a second left. That was they were losing that whole entire game, and then all of a sudden they just take the random lead at the end, with a second left or whatever.
Yeah, that was that game.
Crazy. So I have a
And
question
like
for
that
you.
happened with the
Actually,
it happened with the Knicks multiple times.
I have a question for
What's
you.
up?
I'm worried. I'm concerned about something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever plan on going back to Miami again?
Uh, um, I mean,
I'm gonna take that as a
I,
no.
I, no, because the thing is, it's like currently, I mean, I don't have a plan. Like, but I'm gonna go. I'm going to Disney World in the summer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Not
it's
quite
it's just
Miami.
no. But what I'm saying is, it's just like it depends, like the situation, like
Well, here's why I
the
asked.
circumstances would dictate.
Okay, well, here's why I asked because you have become Miami hater,
Ah,
and I'm concerned because the last time I saw you in Miami, I mean,
mm,
you had the key to the city. I mean, I've never seen you run a city like that. It was incredible. It was really an impressive, marvelous marvel to watch. And I'm concerned that now that you've become Miami hater, I don't know that you'll be received in the same type of way, and that would really make me sad.
well, I mean, the thing is, it's like we're a lot has happened in Miami since we've been there, since we've graced. I mean, since we graced Ocean Drive and the likes, and I love it. Uh, I would love to be there again. But there's a lot. I don't know. It's like I feel like everything like is kind of fucked up right now, just in general. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not as intrigued about going down there because it just feels like there's a lot of different shit going on down there.
So
I
you
don't know
don't
if you
plan on
agree.
ever going back. So is what I'm hearing.
Well, stuff could change. I mean, it's just about the general feel of what's going on right now. But shit changes, man. I'm not opposed to this. I love the thought. I love the thought of Miami. But I mean, the Miami when 4 or 5 years back feel like it was a vastly different place.
Okay, fair enough. I
I
mean,
mean, do you disagree with me? Like, because I'm just going by like shit that I see. I don't have blood on the ground right now, or you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, Miami is Miami's not the same place it was 5 6 years ago, but neither is New York. Where is the same place where in America is the same as it was 5 or 6 years ago?
No, that you make a strong point, and
Well,
I
I'm not
also
trying to even make a point. I'm just saying.
no with the new like with even with the New York thing. I don't know. I think maybe it's just like one of those things where it's like you kind of get a little disenchanted, like
So your hatred from Miami stems from. You're saying that it stems from
Miami sports.
what has devolved the de-evolution of the city in the last 5 6 years.
No, 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 no. Because this is sports based. This is my hate for Miami is Miami sports.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you have not been your hatred has ratcheted up considerably in the last, I would say, 12 to 18 months.
That's a fair point, but I think that's just that just kind of almost I would say it's maybe a product of sports being more important because of like the lack of other stuff. So the sports being more important, my teams just happen. I don't consider myself a Knicks fan, but I root for the Knicks. I'm not wearing Ewings, and I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not throwing on a doofy Mitchell and Ness Knicks hat or anything like that. And I don't even think I've ever had a Knicks jersey, to be honest. No, I did have one. I think I had a DeMar Johnson Knicks jersey.
Oh, the
It's
DeMar Johnson era.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, like I'm not a Knicks fan, but it's just you. I don't know. I think it's the media's fault. I think honestly. We're being honest.
Excellent.
No, and also like the Miami Dolphins, like their fan base. Like I said, like I check a lot of like I'm very paying attention to the Jets. Like they're very important to me, and you see like a lot of just like the Dolphin fans are really coming out. Like those colors are whack. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I think you should
rooted in that.
lean in all the way. Then I think you should just go all the way in and just like fully embrace Miami hater.
No, because I can't.
No,
That would be wrong. Because I'd be hating my Miami for the soul. For the. I'd be hating Miami because of people who aren't from Miami. You understand me?
no,
Like
I don't.
Tua, Tua's not from Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wait, but two is not the reason you hate Miami.
no, but I hate the Dolphins. I hate the Heat, and that's where the vitriol comes from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, but you don't hate them
Miami,
because of specific players. You hate them because of the jerseys that they wear, because they're from Miami.
yeah. But I mean, they just so happen to be in Miami. You know what I'm saying? They were in Boca Raton. I'd have no problem with Miami.
That's not true. If they were in Boca Raton, but still in the AFC East, you would hate them equally. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it wouldn't have anything to do with Miami. I would still love Miami for Miami. It's just that
Okay, I understand that, but they are Miami.
Yeah. I mean, what am I gonna do, man?
I think what you should do is just go all in. Just fully embrace it. I'm
You know what?
I'm
Miami
trying to be
does suck.
supportive here.
Miami does suck. You know why?
Why?
You know why? Because it's full of a bunch of racists, a bunch of scammers, a bunch of scandalous politicians,
Excellent.
and a bunch of brown white supremacists. How about that?
I think you nailed it. You covered it all right there, top to bottom. Now, with that being said, I'm assuming are we calling for a Nugget sweep, or will the Heat get a game in this series, or what do we think?
I don't know. I think they'll get one of the games in Miami.
Think so. See, I got to rewatch. I want to actually rewatch the game, even though obviously I know the result. But having only watched the second half, and having when I turned it on, I think they were down well into double digits. So it's like I couldn't really get a feel for the energy of the game. I feel like when a game is like that out of reach at half, you don't get a good feel for the game. Like I want to get a feel for just kind of like the start of the game and how how it arrived at where it was when I finally did get to turn it on.
And what's crazy is like it's like going back to what you said about the game not being as close, the game not being as close as the score would indicate. That's it's actually pretty accurate, only because at no point did it just like was somebody going off, and like, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't like Jamal Murray had a good game obviously, but it wasn't like Bruce Brown was hitting threes like crazy, or you know what I'm saying, or they looked unstoppable. Like they didn't look like they played that well. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the two stars are going to put up their numbers like in any give. Like the expectation is that any like your two stars are going to have that sort of game. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
combined for I think it was 57 points or whatever. But that's a normal game. It's like you didn't get Jokic going for 42.
Yeah, I think that they
Jamal,
didn't score. What was the final score? That they didn't even get into the 110s, right? It was like 10 something.
yeah,
And that's light. That's light for Denver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think
So
it was
like
107. I think.
I don't know. Yeah, it was something like that because it ended up being an 8. I think it was an
104.
8.50.
Final score was 104.93.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like, yo, these guys look unstoppable. Like, so that game is still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people like say, like a lot of people, the retort or whatever is like, oh yeah, the Heat aren't gonna shoot, that bad from three again. Well, that's what they were shooting in the regular season. The anomaly of the sample size is what they've done since like going into the playoffs and in the playoffs. Like
That whole thing is kind of weird though, because at the same time, like that if you're just boiling it down to this season, then yes. But last year they were the 1 seed based off of having a very, you know what I'm saying? So it's like which one is the outlier? Was it last year and now, or was it this year regular season?
But see, that's why I think that's why I think that it was like it's been overblown, only because it was so bad in the beginning of the year that it couldn't stay like that. But to catch up to like what the back of their baseball card, for lack of a better term, to get to that, you had to have a crazy ass run to kind of make it, to make the averages kind of, go back to what they would be in the like I said, the back of the baseball card. So I think that's what it is. It's like it was so bad, then it had to be so good to kind of even it out, that having a bad game and having a good game is just kind of like the ebb and flow of like what's normally going to happen. It's just that we haven't seen a bad game in such a long time, because the other side of the season where it was so bad, and they're like the average slowly ticking back to the average.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And also that's I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No,
that's why it's also like what you said about they were the 1 seed last. That's why it's such a bullshit that like it's, oh, this is an 8th seed. Like, yo, dog, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They were in the finals before that. Like, this is not an 8th seed. This is way closer to like max 5th seed. This is not like the Hawks that that sneaking into the playoffs.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Hawks were in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, and the Hawks busted the Heat's ass on the road in the play-in game.
No, okay, but what I'm saying is it's not like a lowly team that's like,
from a franchise standpoint, yes.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because there's other factors in that. Like, for example, they've never been there before. Like that kind of, that manifests itself in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? In fact, it's the opposite, where like if you're playing a team that hasn't really been to the playoffs. That's that's I mean, even you can see that even with the Knicks and Cavs series. That's really the only difference is like the Cavs haven't been battle tested or whatever, and the Knicks went to the had a couple of their players went to the playoffs 2 years ago. So like those little differences make up, and you're talking about a team that is like is battle tested and who they haven't lost it. They didn't haven't lost anybody. I mean, obviously the injuries, but I'm saying the team during the season is the same team. Generally speaking, as the team has been the last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird because like NBA is not. It's not this, not traditionally this unpredictable. Like it's just been weird. I mean, you just don't see this type of strange kind of like NBA tends to be pretty consistent when it comes to like I can't remember the last time. Like I'm genuinely very surprised that the Heat won the first round series. Forget about how far they've come, and but it's not because like I don't think that they're a good team. I just they have not all season long. They have not been better than those other teams in the East. They were never better than Boston. They weren't better than Philly. I mean, they weren't even better than like peak Knicks this season was way better than the Heat ever were during the regular season. Like the Heat just never seemed to get their regular season off the ground, and then all of a sudden they're just like pulling it all together. It's just weird.
No, but I mean, think about it. Like, how many games did Jimmy Butler miss? Like,
yeah, but still,
during,
that's every team. That's every team.
yeah, but not that many. And I mean, Duncan Robinson was awful the beginning of the year.
Duncan Robinson was forget about awful the beginning of the year. He wasn't even in the rotation for the last 2 years. The only reason he's even seeing the floor is because Tyler Hero got hurt and Oladipo got hurt. Oh, he was behind Victor Oladipo in the rotation.
Yeah, but I'm saying, he's been a decent part of what's going on now.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where the surprise is for me is that like usually when you're an NBA team going that deep into the rotation out of nowhere, right when you get to the playoffs, that usually does not translate to a trip to the finals. That usually translates to that translates to the standard excuse that you're given at the end of the at the postseason press conferences, like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
When teams lose, I mean, how many years did we hear the Sixers didn't go as far as they should have because Embiid was banged up? You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like teams just losing players. Like, and obviously not to say that Oladipo is as important as Embiid is to the Sixers, but to a certain degree, it's like the way that the Miami Heat play. Jimmy Butler missing games. Jimmy Butler, I'm a fan, but he's become very overrated. And I say that as a fan. I'm a fan of his, but I've watched him for most of his career, and I've been a fan of his for most of his career, and like he's not, he's a very clutch player. Obviously, he's proven that. But he is what he is. You know what I mean? He is what his record says he is.
Yeah, he is who everybody thinks he is. But the difference is the amount of weight that people put on in the playoffs and like everybody's watching. So I mean, a lot of people, for the most part, are like if you unless you're a Heat fan, you're not watching the Heat religiously until the NBA playoff basketball is on, and that's when everybody's like you know what I'm saying, like that's when everybody's like, oh man, like they overlook the other stuff and then create a legend, because I mean if like for example after the Knicks series, like they was like Jordan, Kobe, and Jimmy Butler, you know what I'm saying, like
yeah.
But that's because of the span that they were in. but now they've gotten the full Jimmy Butler experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think that's why it's calmed down so much to where it's like, they've had to see the couple stinkers to be like, oh, okay, this is why I didn't know Jimmy Butler had that level in him before, because he has that variance in his games.
Yeah. Did you know that I saw that he shot zero foul. He didn't get to the free throw line at all
Mhm.
last night. And I went back to see what's the last time he played a game and didn't get to the free throw line.
Mm.
And the last time he played a game and didn't get to the free throw line was this year, October 21st, like very beginning of the season. I'm like,
Mhm.
his whole game is getting to the free throw line. Like
Yeah.
that's another reason why I feel like I need to watch the game to get a better understanding of how things went from the beginning, because I'm just like, how not aggressive must Jimmy have been to not get to the free throw line?
Well, I mean, think about, like, for example, in the Knicks games, like their centers are centers. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not,
Yeah, old
you
school.
know, they're yeah, they're old school centers. Like, Robert Williams, his game is defense. That type of defensive prowess, like that type of old schoolish type game. Even though it's a little different from the Knicks centers, but like Jokic isn't Jokic is not going to foul out. He's not. That's not. He's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the way that they play is a little bit too. I think they realize that the Nuggets play too smart to fall for that. Like they kind of like Jokic does what Miami likes to do with the embellishing, like, a little bit of flopping to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. So it's like, and they know that. So they, like, the Nuggets know that, and the Nuggets know how to do that. So it's almost like they're one up. Like, at least for the first game, it felt like they were one upping them in their own game.
Yeah, I mean, Denver, they may play a more. I don't even know if I want to go as far as to call it disciplined defense. Um, but you know, I understand what you're saying, but Jimmy Butler gets to the free throw line against anybody. Denver's not special. He's played Denver before, and he's averaged, I think, like 10 free throws a game against Denver. It's not like this is not Denver not fouling. This is initiated by Jimmy. It's just something Jimmy is doing differently.
Yeah.
Not that this is some opponent that he can't draw a foul against.
No, no, I understand, but like I'll go back to like the difference, like in the past two series, it's like the way that what it seems like. I can't say that, like, I barely watch Denver, so I can't say that I'm like an expert there. But like the defenders on the Knicks and the Celtics are like overzealous like their style is overzealous
No,
defense.
I understand what you're saying. What,
You,
what you
you know what
really
I'm
want
saying?
to
Like,
say is what I've been saying for a month, which is that those two teams were very poorly coached.
yeah.
That's
Well,
really what it comes down to, is that
that's the
those
crux
two
of it.
teams are they're not coached no, they're not coached properly on how to play efficient defense without fouling.
Yeah, but see, that's what I kind of like was alluding to before. Like Miami does play overzealous defense at times, but they know how to do it. So like Denver doesn't. That's not Denver's defensive style. That's the Knicks' defensive style. That's the Heat's defensive style, and that's the Celtics' defensive style. But only one of those three teams knows how to do it right, and that's the Heat.
Yeah, no, I understand. But what you're saying, I could maybe lean more into it if he had, if he had only shot 4 or 5 free throws as opposed to what he a lot of times is getting into the teens and, close to 20 foul shots in certain games if he's really cooking and manipulating the defense. 0 free throws? That's a
Yeah,
Jimmy thing. That's
I
not
mean,
Denver.
you could tell because he wasn't attacking the basket. He was doing those
That's my whole point. Is that
mid
like
range
at
jumpers.
the end of the day, like comparing the defenses, yeah, you're right. That's fine. But at the end of the game, Jimmy's going to and he's got to play his game. That is his game. That's all he's got. Like and it's
Yeah.
against all 31 teams. He's got to try to play the same game. How effective it is will be relying on how what kind of defense the teams are playing. But against all 31, he's got to. That's his game. That's what he does. He's not a you know what I mean. He's not an efficient shooter. He doesn't shoot from long distance. You know what I'm saying? Like his game.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were definitely giving him that. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just shot so terribly too. My God, like that was the other thing because I'm like looking, because that's the thing is like if I look at Jimmy Butler's box score at the end of a game, I'm looking at it like he's either got to have, at least 4 or 5 trips to the foul line. We got to be talking at least maybe 8 to 10 free throws, or he's got to be getting to the rim and his shooting percentage has got to be at least 50%, minimum. He's got to be going 50, 55, maybe even closer to 60% if he's not drawing any fouls, because his game is trying to get to the rim and trying to get, he plays like a contested bucket game, you know what I'm saying? And like if you're not drawing fouls, then you better be finishing. You know what I mean? If you're not drawing fouls and you're not finishing and you're shooting, 40%, 38%, like you're not playable.
Yeah, it was. I will say too, man. Like the Nuggets got some big boys, man. Like they're
yeah, it's a big team, man.
I was like shocked when I saw like Jamal Murray. Like he's like their guard. They're like their playmaking guard.
Yeah.
And he's like 6'5", 6'6". You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, I mean, look.
like he'd be a center on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
What? Who's Cleveland Cavaliers?
What?
Who's Cleveland Cavaliers? The Cleveland Cavaliers are one of the biggest teams in the league. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying with the guards compared to Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
Oh yeah. But you know what? That's the thing is that the guy who plays their 3 traditionally, Porter Jr., he could be a 5. I mean, he's like 6'10".
Yeah.
Like they got crazy size. I don't know what Miami's gonna do, but it could be a short one, man. All the excitement of the NBA playoffs may have fizzled out right there at the end of. It might have peaked at the end of Game 6 because even that Game 7 was not particularly competitive. So
yeah,
this might be the end of the road.
Stinker.
Yeah, this might be the end.
No,
of the
but
road.
Miami will have a game in Miami to make it either 2-1, or you know what I'm saying, or get the hype back after one of the games.
We'll see. I
mean, I don't know. Maybe they still like. I don't know. Maybe they were just testing stuff out. Like
I definitely think that was the case too. I think that was like not to say that it was a throwaway game, but I think that they were. I think that there was a and I'm just assuming, but it seemed to me again because I didn't even see the first half, but it seemed to me just from watching the second half and from just kind of digesting what the numbers tell me, seemed like there was a conscious effort to get Bam going offensively, because that's another thing. I don't know that even if Jimmy does his playoff Jimmy thing and drops 50, if Bam is not peak best Bam, they have no shot anyway, even if Jimmy drops 50. And I'm not saying that Bam has to drop 25, 30 points a game, but I feel like when he plays his best defense when he's also contributing and engaged on offense. And I feel like that's one of the things that I just noticed that the Heat do best is that they're able to play the kind of defense that they do because everybody's always engaged. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like
Yeah.
they have some. It's not like they have like I think that they view like whereas a lot of teams try to my like just from my perspective, they try to go with like superstars on the offensive end and then just 3-and-D guys. Everybody's a 3-and-D guy. And like I feel like the Heat have 3-and-D guys, but it's more of an I feel like they place a premium on distributing the offensive opportunities to keep everybody engaged and dialed in with the game, because I just feel like if you're just sitting out there and and it was funny because in that Bruce Brown interview that they did on Levitar's show, I felt like he kind of was alluding to that when he was talking about his days with the Nets, and talking about what the offense was there, just basically like give
Sitting
it to
around.
just give it to KD and Kyrie and just kind of stay out of the way. And like I just got a feeling just from hearing him say that and just from just observing, I feel like when it's hard to stay, it's harder to stay fully engaged if you're someone, especially if you're someone like Bruce Brown, who I think views himself as a dynamic player. I don't think he views himself as somebody who's just a defensive specialist. But when you like, like if the Heat were to take somebody like Caleb Martin and have him be, all we want from you is defense, don't shoot the ball. You're not gonna get You're not gonna get a big time offensive performance from him when you need it. And B, he's not gonna be as good defensively either.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense, because it's like, like everybody, all these basketball players, like they know that they're good, like they're the great, they've been the greatest most of their life, and they, unless like you're talking about Ben Wallace or somebody someone along those lines, like like, why am I doing the dirty work?
Yeah.
Like that type of thing. And it's like, like you got to give me a chance to get hot. Like like for example, like that's part of the reason that I said it didn't feel like the Heat was going to have a chance to win that game, because they were getting chances. Like Caleb Martin was getting his shots. Max Strus was getting his shot. Duncan Robinson.
Max Strus killed me, man. Killed me.
Yeah, yo. I
had so many parlays with
at
Max
3.5 points at halftime.
Who had 3.5 points at halftime? Oh, you had a prop for him with 3.
I picked the over. Yeah.
Yo. The one thing I was happy about was that I felt like Max Strus's rebound prop was crazy low, so I hammered that hard. So that made up for all the L's I took on the Max Strus. The other, like I played the Strus points, I played the Strus threes, and it wasn't about him not being out there or not taking shots. He was like 0 for 10 from 3.
Yeah, he was terrible. Like Gabe Vincent was the only one who was doing those corner, like he was just at that corner, like all night, and he I don't know how many he sunk, but it seemed like he sunk a few in a row, and then even he got kind of cold.
Yeah,
to where like those shots were like, well, yeah, what he had those hit a few.
Gabe had 19. Gabe was 5 for 10 from 3. 50% on 10 shots, and he had 19 points. Strus was 0 for 9, no points.
It's crazy.
I mean, to tell you the truth, you know what the crazy thing is? I hate to say it, but I believe strongly in plus minus. And the worst plus minus on the Heat last night by far was Jimmy.
Really?
Yeah, Jimmy was a minus 17. Gabe Vincent was even. He was a 0. Strus was a minus 12. Caleb Martin was a minus 10. Bam was a minus 6. But Jimmy was a minus 17. I mean, that's a brutal game, man. That's a brutal game. 6 for 14, 13 points. Like, that's...
Yeah, but I'm saying you couple that with the last games that he's had in the Celtics series.
He's been brutal. But that's the thing. You know, it's funny that you say that, because I started becoming really concerned with what Jimmy had going on after, well, during Game 6, that game that they lost, or that game that they lost at the last second,
Mm-hmm.
because he was shooting. Yo, do you know what his? Yo, he was 5 for 21,
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
but he was 12 for 14 from the free throw line. And that's the thing. Like, that's how he's got to play. If he's not going to get to the free throw line, if he's not getting you 14 free throws, and he's just shooting, and he's shooting a low percentage, like, that's how you end up with a minus 17, because you're net negative, like, by a lot.
Yeah, and also if you're not stopping the clock, so it's like whatever your minutes are,
Yeah, and
if
especially
I mean
against
the Heat don't.
especially against a team like Denver, like, if you come down the court and you just miss two, contested shots. If Jimmy comes and puts up a shot, misses, Denver comes down, they'll come down quick, and Jokic will find somebody
Yeah,
to nail a three. And then Jimmy come down and do the same thing, take a tough contested shot. He wanted the foul, didn't get it. They come down and hit
yeah,
another three. Next thing you know, the game is out of hand. It's out of
yeah,
control.
yeah. It's crazy, and like, the Heat tried, like, besides Jimmy Butler, like they were trying to do their normal, like I've been saying forever, like the little sneaky stuff, like, to favor those calls, and to get their, to get their calls and stuff like that, and that the refs just weren't really biting, you know what I'm saying. So the game didn't slow down, like they like to slow the game down, and they weren't able to do that. So I think that's kind of why. And I mean, also, man, like, these dudes have been game 6, game 7,
They got to be
every
worn
other
down
day.
after that.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
Series.
they're
And they didn't
playing,
even go back to Miami. They went straight from Boston. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, and plus that style that they play, where it's like a lot of contact, hitting the ground all the
yeah,
time.
it's funny that you say
Like,
that.
Gabe Vincent is always on the ground. Caleb Martin is always rolling around. Jimmy Butler, especially. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
that starts to like, it starts to pile up, man.
it's funny that you say that, because what I was saying during the last series, after they went up 3-0 and they lost game 4, and then they went back to Boston for game 5, I was thinking to myself, and now this was game 4 was when Gabe Vincent turned his ankle, right? And then he missed game 5.
He missed game 5,
Yeah.
and they came back
So
for game 6.
I remember thinking, even before game 4 started, I wasn't thinking, like, I was like, okay, the Heat pretty much have a stranglehold on the series. But whenever the conversations were coming up about, can they come back, if they, and the whole, don't let us get one, and everybody was saying, if Boston can force a game 7 at home, there's no way that the Heat are gonna win. And I never believed that there was no way that the Heat were gonna win a game 7 on the road in Boston, because of the momentum shift. For me, it was always exactly what you're talking about. The fact that if the Heat and the way that they play get a team down 3-0, they're just waiting to lose if they don't lock it up, because the longer any series with them goes, the more banged up they're going to be, and the more chance that they're going to have that they're going to lose somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're up 3-0 on anybody, like, game 5, game 6, game 7, that's just 3 more games that you could end up losing Jimmy to a turned ankle, or losing Bam to a shoulder or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just that type of reckless abandon that they play with their bodies, like, it's hard to keep that up for a stretch,
like,
man.
Like, I mean, even like take into account, like Kevin Love, everything, like, February, January, taking charges is cute and all that, and like, fires up the team, and you can go on a run when, in the middle of a mini run, they're going down on offense, and you take the charge, and then it goes the other way. You know what I'm saying? And, like, everybody gets hype. That's all well and good when you're like 30, like close to 40, in January and February, but when you're in the playoffs and you're doing this every other day, and they're counting on you for minutes, man, like, and then on top of that, you got to go to like to Mile High, and your body has to get acclimated. Like that shit, that shit. There's a lot that like that the Heat had to overcome yesterday, and are gonna have to overcome. So look, by no means is this like, yeah, they were trash. They shouldn't have been there to begin with. It's like, yo, like the way that they play, where like they get every single like, it's almost like what they say of Tom Thibodeau. It's like he's gonna break you down because it's like a lot of minutes and the way that they want you to play defense and all that. Like that's what's gonna happen to you. That when you play, when you play like that, like
Yeah.
that shit adds up, man. And you're playing, like the style of play that you're playing when let's say like, when everybody else doesn't have to play like that, they're at an advantage. It's like when you have a Sunday game, and you're playing on Thursday, and the team that you're playing, maybe they played up the early, or what I'm saying, like, or they had the week off, they had coming off the bye week or whatever, like that shit. All those bruises aren't fully healed up. It's like, when you get a sprained ankle and like on the fourth day you're kind of losing your limp, but you haven't lost it yet.
Yeah.
Like, like it still makes a difference, even though technically it's better than it was, but that shit still plays. That shit still plays a major part in how you feel.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I think that Jimmy probably still has not fully recovered from his turned ankle from the Knicks series.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when your game is predicated on flopping, right? You end up getting put in a bad position.
Well, there you go. So, to finish this out, I think I want to put together a live. Well, it won't be a live parlay, but we will put it together live before the game starts. Because I want to take advantage of the stepped up parlay, because I've been doing pretty well with these, but I missed the last.
Wait, for the Mets game?
Well, so here's the thing. I was gonna, because now since the Mets game is rain delay until they said, which
8:40.
Yeah, it says 8:40. So we can go Mets or Yankees.
Well, I did my stepped up parlay.
You did it for which game? Mets.
For the Mets game.
Okay, so then I'll do mine for the Yankees game.
Yeah, I had Pete. I think Pete is due. I don't think he had a home run in the last series against the Phillies, so he hasn't had a home run in Citi Field in a little bit. Let's see what else I had.
Now, you don't always go all 10, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I almost
Too
always
far.
I almost always force the 10. I gotta go 10.
Well, yeah,
Unless I can put together a nice like 5-6 that I feel like are locks, like total locks, and I like the payout, then I'll just close it out. But otherwise, I'm gonna find a way to get to 10. I'm always gonna find a way to get to 10. I like to use the alternate run lines for individual innings. I use that a lot. Just to get a cheap couple of legs in there.
Extra, yeah, got you. I don't know. I don't like to think that much. I'm a sucker. That's what like I have Pete hitting a home run, Francisco Alvarez RBI, because I almost picked him to have a home run.
So how many legs do you have?
Just 4.
4?
Well, because this stepped up parlay, the stepped up parlay is straight 50% though. For DraftKings.
No, well then it's not stepped up.
No, it's like but it's a boost, a 50% boost.
50% boost, but that's not stepped up. Stepped up is with each leg
Oh,
the boost gets stepped up.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I always try to stretch it to 10 foolishly, because it's always like the ninth or 10th leg that ends up losing the bet. But when I hit it, it's, oh man, what a feeling. It's the best time to me, the best time to do the stepped ups is either when you have two really good pitchers or two really shitty pitchers. Because if you have two shitty pitchers, then you can use, you can give multiple batters legs. And if you have two really good pitchers, then you can just play a lot of unders.
Yeah. I don't know which one I prefer though.
Two really good pitchers or two shitty pitchers?
Yeah, because you can have a bad outing.
Yeah,
But I mean, like,
I prefer shitty pitchers.
Yeah.
For stepped ups, just because, like, especially like if you get a pairing of a shitty pitcher going up against a good good hitting team, that's usually the bread and butter. So like right now we're gonna go Yankees. We're gonna go Yankees.
You know what? Let me do a Yankees. Let me do it with you.
We're gonna go Yankees Dodgers. And this is how I usually do it.
That game is at 10:40, right?
Yeah. The 10:10 actually it says.
10:10.
So usually where I start is I try to look to see what kind of prices I get on the pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the thing that sucks is that when you have two, Clayton Kershaw, unfortunately, his prices are always high. So, like, to get a legitimate leg, it has to be no longer odds or no shorter odds than minus 500. And Kershaw 5 strikeouts is 525. So you would have to go 6 strikeouts for it to count as a step leg, and I don't want to do that because I don't feel confident in him getting.
It's not really doing that.
But the Severino 4 strikeouts, I'll take that. I'll take Severino 4 strikeouts. Kershaw 4 hits allowed. We can use that. Severino hits allowed. I think Severino 4 hits allowed is good too. So if we go Severino 4 Ks and Kershaw and Severino each with 4 hits allowed, that gets us 3 legs right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also like to go, because you've seen how I do, like, I like to set a band. So I'll go each team total runs over 1.5. And then I'll go either full under or an individual team under. So I'll probably go. Let me see what the number is on full under.
You said team total runs.
Yeah, so if you go to game props.
Yeah, I got
and
you.
You got each team total runs. You can get them, each team to score 2 runs at minus 225.
Well, I've got wait, hold on. Okay, gotcha.
Because if you do an individual team, you can't get 2 runs.
It's 2.5. It's not 2. It's 2.5.
Nah.
Are you on?
What's 2.5?
Are you on FanDuel? Are you on?
I'm on this. I'm stepping up, baby. FanDuel doesn't offer stepped ups.
Okay. So.
Are you on FanDuel or are you on DraftKings?
No, I'm on DraftKings.
Yeah. So in the game props, each team total runs over 1.5 is minus 225.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you said you said over 2, so I was looking.
Well, that's what my bad. Like 2 or more. I just like in my mind I'm comfortable with that. Just know, and it's funny I say comfortable with that, thinking that a team can scratch out at least 2 runs. When meanwhile the fucking George Kirby shutting down the Yankees the other night screwed me because they couldn't get 2 runs. Otherwise I would have won that bet.
Well, did they play yesterday? No. No, they didn't play yesterday.
No, that was 2 nights ago, I think.
Yeah, so wake up call, a day off.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna go alternate total runs. You can only get to 12. I don't want to do that. Under 12. Wait, so the Yankees did not play yesterday, right? They had off yesterday?
No,
Yeah. Okay.
no,
The
because
Yankees
they
and
lost.
Dodgers were both off yesterday. But the Yankees have a better
Mhm.
bullpen. So I'm going to go Dodgers under 6.5. Yeah, I'm going to go Dodgers under 6.5.
450.
Yeah, because we can sneak that in under the 500. Because it's like we can go Dodgers under 6.5, or we can go full game under 11.5. But I just feel like if the Yankees get Kershaw out of there early, they could really slap around the Dodgers bullpen. The Dodgers bullpen is not very good.
How many years has it not been good for?
No, I mean not that many. They've had a they just haven't put resources into the bullpen this year. They haven't put resources into a lot of things this year, but I mean when they were like, full beast mode Dodgers the last 5 years, they had guys in the bullpen who would disappoint in big spots, but through the
Okay,
course
all
of
right,
through the course of
that's what it is.
162 were good. They don't even have
Mhm.
guys who through the course of 162 are like elite the way they have had in the past. All right, so
Yeah.
we already got five legs, and we don't even need to have a hit yet. I mean, we do need 2 runs, but we don't need an individual batter. Now let me look at what kind of stats these dudes have against the starters. So Rizzo is 10 for 31 lifetime against Kershaw for a 323 batting average. Donaldson is 3 for 7 lifetime against Kershaw with a 429 batting average.
Yeah,
But
I don't
I
like that.
can't take Donaldson in his first game. But this is his first game back off the
Yeah.
IL, right?
hmm Yeah.
And
He was over in Somerset.
okay, Mookie Betts is batting 281 and 32 at bats against Severino. JD Martinez is batting 420 at bats against Severino. So I think I'm going to take JD Martinez to get a hit. And I also like to see, and I know this doesn't really mean anything, but it has served me well in the past. I always like to see what a guy's previous game was. Because if there's a guy who's batting 300 and he went 0 for 5 the game before, I'll be more likely to take him to get
2 hits.
to get a hit, or 2 total bases, something like that in the follow. Because everything has to kind of come back to the means here. So JD Martinez was 1 for 3. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go JD Martinez 1 total base. I think I'm gonna go Rizzo 1. Let me see. Rizzo's 323. Wasn't Rizzo hurt too? Is he just coming back?
No. I think I'm going to take him to hit a home run.
Rizzo didn't play in the last game. Wait a minute. Rizzo didn't play in the last series.
At all?
Yeah,
no, he had a home.
He didn't play against Seattle at all.
Oh, so never mind.
And that's weird though. He has good stats. I mean, he's a lefty. He has good stats for a lefty against Kershaw, who's another lefty. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think I'm gonna do Rizzo, but I think what I'll do is. Oh, man, it's tough with Stanton having just come back, though, man.
No.
Stanton's got nice numbers against Kershaw, though. 5 for 18 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. I think I'm going to take Stanton with an RBI.
I'm going to take him for a home run.
I think I'm going to take him
because I think if he's either going to strike, he's either going to not, I think he's not going to get a hit, or he's going to get either a double or a home run.
See, my thing is, I'm just looking at, I don't really want to take Rizzo to get a hit, but I feel like Rizzo is likely to get on base, and Stanton batting behind him, he don't even need to get a hit to get an RBI.
Yeah, yeah, I got
batting
you.
behind Judge and Rizzo. Even if Stanton is rusty coming off of the IL, he still has a chance to get an RBI, and he don't even got to
Yeah,
get a hit.
yeah.
But the only thing that's I wish they let you do runs scored on here, because if they let you do runs scored, I would have taken maybe Judge or Rizzo to get a run to score to have a run scored, but they don't let you add that into the same game parlay. You can only do that
Oh,
individual. You can do that same game parlay on FanDuel though, right?
what?
You can add runs scored into a same game
I don't know. I
parlay.
barely use FanDuel, so I don't know the ins and outs of.
I think you can. I get mixed up as to what you can do where. All right, so how many legs do I have now? I got 7 legs. 7 legs. How are we gonna close this out? Who else can we tish out? Maybe I just take Mookie Betts to get a hit. Severino. All these guys just coming back off of injury, man. Severino has very limited stats, but I usually like taking Freddie Freeman to get a hit because he's pretty money with that, but
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman. I love his walk-up song, man. That's the only thing that made me kind of warm up to Freddie Freeman was that I was like, oh, he has a good walk-up song. Maybe he's not as much of a cornball as I thought.
Uh,
Although he probably still is. But I
yeah,
gotta give him something.
I can't stand his teeth. So
His teeth. Did he get those
he's got
teeth when he went to
choppers.
the Dodgers, or did he have them with the Braves? Are those Hollywood teeth?
No, no, no.
Did he go Hollywood on us with those teeth?
No, no, those were. Well, he's from that area, so you know
California
what I'm
or
saying.
Atlanta?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Oh.
he's from California, so get to the choppers.
All right, so
That's what he told his dentist.
I got I got 7 legs. I could take one more person to get a total base. Should I take Mookie Betts? Did Mookie Betts get a hit yesterday? Both teams didn't play yesterday. Did Mookie Betts get a hit in his last
I
game?
took the Mookie Betts hit.
You took Mookie Betts to get a hit.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Mookie Betts is that's the tricky thing, right? Because I'm looking at his last 2 games. He has 2 hits in each game. And that makes me think, like, is he about to cool off, or is he hot and now's the time to take him? Or did he cool off with that off day yesterday? This is how they get you, man. This is why this is a bad
Called gambling,
business.
guy.
I know. Jason Hayward has
no.
two at bats against Severino, but he's 2 for 2 with a home run.
Yeah, but that's
That could have been 500
when
years ago.
when even was that?
Yeah.
It had to be. It had to be. It couldn't be with the Cubs. It couldn't be with the Cubs.
Hasn't
Well,
Jason
maybe it was
Hayward
with
been in the
Cubs.
National League his whole career? He was a Brave. He was a Cub. Has he been in the American League at all?
Uh,
I mean, not that it even matters anymore, because
no. I'm just curious now at this point.
Because I'm just thinking, like, normally my kind of reflex is to think National League guys are not going to have a ton of at bats against American League guys, but that's old school thinking.
Yeah.
So you took the Mookie Betts hit?
Yep.
I'm gonna take. Should I take the Mookie
You
Betts?
took
hit
the
or should
Giancarlo RBI.
I did.
Okay. What do you have? Because
I can't take. I'm very reluctant to take a home run just because if a guy gets an RBI, I'm gonna be pissed. Like I took the other day, I took Pete. I took Pete to have 2 total bases and an RBI, and he hit a home run. And I had thought about taking him to get a home run, but I was glad that I didn't because A, it gave me the 2 legs, and B, it gave me a little bit of wiggle room if he has an RBI double.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you take that into account, yes, but I mean, think about how juicy. Well, when you add the 3 legs, or the 2 legs as opposed to 1, I mean, maybe it kind of makes up. Maybe it kind of mixed up, but with that, Like when you get
Yeah.
that plus 430
No, yeah, yeah.
and
That's
it
that really
goes up.
juices it.
That's juicy.
All right, so we're not going Jason Hayward. We're going. You said how many? I have 8 legs.
Yeah, I have 8 now.
All right, and I think I'm tempted to just do a run line band. I love doing that.
A run line what?
A run line band. So I'll do like so. What's the prices here? Dodgers plus 2.5. Yankees plus 3.5. You could do both of those at the same time, and that gets you the last 2 legs. And the Dodgers just can't lose by more than 3, or the Yankees can't lose by
Where's
more than
that?
4. Alternate run
Where's that?
lines.
Under what thing is
Under
that?
game
Game Plus?
lines. Like one of the third
Oh, got you,
yeah,
got
the
you, got you.
third tab. If you go Dodgers plus 2.5, Yankees plus 3.5, that gets you 2 legs right there. Or sometimes I like to do a total runs band where I'll do like, over 5.5, under 11.5, or whatever the numbers are. You know what I'm saying? Just to give a
All right, so
range.
what did you have?
I think I'm gonna do the run line because I think with Kershaw, Severino, I look at them as both the same kind of level of pitchers. I don't think either team is gonna blow the other one out. I think it should be a close game.
Mm.
And I think if anybody, that's the only thing is that I think that I don't know. It's weird because like I trust the Dodgers offense way more than I trust the Yankees offense, but I
Is it
trust
so
the
hot and cold?
Yankees bullpen way more than I trust the Dodgers bullpen.
Mm.
So maybe instead of maybe I do Yankees plus 3.5, and instead of the Dodgers plus 2.5, do the last leg. Do a Dodgers. Let me see. Maybe do a Dodgers first. That's risky though, man. I hate when I lose a parlay on an innings
Just leave it
prop.
at that, man. Leave it at that.
Nah, I need it. I need the 10th leg. I need 100%. This is what always happens, man. I be getting greedy. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do the Oh, I can't do that either. Fuck. Wait, what do we have? Total runs. Each team over 1.5.
Over 1.5.
And we have Dodgers under 6.5. Maybe I just do. No, Yankees under 5.5 is too much. That scares me. That Dodgers pen, and plus that's the other thing is that I can't even trust Kershaw.
Verlander just threw his first pitch, and it went George Springer home run.
Well, I could have told you that was gonna happen. Verlander has given up first inning home runs more often than not this year, and it's funny that you say that because speaking of these bets, the last time I won a Mets bet, a Mets 10-leg stepped up parlay, I took the Mets run lines, and I did plus half a run second inning, plus half a run third inning, and I knew not to do first inning because he always gives up a run in the first.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean,
or maybe I could do a no run first inning.
Oh well, yeah, that's not very outlandish.
I think I don't want to do a no run just because I'm scared that the Dodgers could touch Severino up in the first. He might need to get settled down, having not pitched in mad long. So I think I'm gonna take Dodgers plus a half first inning comes in just at minus 500 for the leg. So I think I'm going to do that one and just hope that Kershaw doesn't get blown up in the first.
So, hold on. So what do you have?
So to close it out, where I'm at right now, 100% stepped up same game boost.
Yeah, but where'd
Severino,
you get that in game lines or innings?
innings. Yeah, so under
So
innings, run line first inning, Dodgers plus 0.5, half a run,
minus 500.
minus 500.
Mm-hmm.
That's one leg. Each team over 1.5 is the second leg. Dodgers under 6.5 is the third leg. 3 pitchers' legs. Severino 4 strikeouts. Severino 4 hits allowed. Kershaw 4 hits allowed. And then the final 4 legs. I got J.D. Martinez 1 total base. Giancarlo Stanton 1 RBI. Mookie Betts 1 total base. Yankees plus 3.5.
All right, let's go with it.
That's gonna be the 10 leg stepped up parlay. $10 wins you $250
On the dot.
Perfect. Alrighty.
That's the ticket.
And here we go. And you said you put something. What did you put in for the Mets game?
Hold on a second. Something seems to have gone wrong with my. So oh, my geolocation is off.
Oh, you're trying to place those out-of-state bets. Oh, I didn't even tell you about when I was in D.C. how that disaster. Did I tell you about that?
Well, yeah, you said that you could. Well, you had to go across the street. You said
Across the street, I had to go to the Nationals ballpark.
yeah. So I mean, it was across the street.
Yeah, well, it was across the street, yeah. And there was no game going on, but
Oh, really?
yeah, they weren't even in town. I just had to. I just went out. I just went like I was just hanging around. Surprised the police didn't come, because they have like the gate is like. It's like you can walk physically into the ballpark, but the gate doesn't keep you from walking into the ballpark. Like you can physically walk in. You can't walk around, but it's you can physically. You are inside. Under. You're undercover.
Yeah, you're under the bricks, but you're not past the gate.
Yes, but for the geolocation purposes, it was good enough for me to place a bet.
Yeah, that's great.
So that was how we had to do it.
Did you get that downpour and all that lightning and shit?
Just like a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I have that again because my internet, and it's not even my Wi-Fi's been pretty good recently because I brought down the
I was gonna say, have you been still using the same Wi-Fi?
Yeah, no, I brought it actually worked bringing the extender because I thought that the extender just brought the range further. He's the extender.
Of course,
with
the
this?
series extender. You've never heard of?
Heard
that nickname?
No, I didn't.
The league sends him in to extend the series.
Okay. The extendables.
No, if you go on Twitter, there are several funny tweets of Scott Foster.
Him and the Celtics fan ref.
Him and the what?
The Celtics fan ref.
Oh,
whatever, Eric Lewis or whatever.
There's a meme of him with a Celtics jersey on that had me crying.
Really?
That's and there was another one that had him like there's a video that somebody put together with Meek Mill and him making calls, and it makes me cry laughing every time. It's so great.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, but I brought the actual box downstairs, and it pings the Wi-Fi further as opposed to like I put it in my living room and thought that because it used to be in Adriel's room for his PlayStation, but I took it out and I put it in the window in the living room thinking that would give me enough, like I was close enough to it, but that wasn't working. So I brought it downstairs and that actually made obviously you can see it.
Yeah, big difference.
Big ass difference.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were using your phone hotspot or something because there's been big difference.
No, because even my phone's acting for like I said, I deposited the 10 to put the parlay in, but it's still doing this thing when I hit to enter the like to confirm the bet.
Oh yeah, trying to find your location.
Yeah, I guess I
Some of
don't know,
these
but it's not
books,
it's
man.
not on Wi-Fi. It's on the network.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is that every time I do that and I'm having location problems, it says you're better off using Wi-Fi
Yeah,
because I guess the
because
IP
of the
address or
what's it called?
whatever is. I guess they find that more trustworthy than
Yeah.
your location, your GPS or whatever. But anyhow, that's how we do it. The oh, by the way, take the Golden Knights, man. They're gonna win the Stanley Cup. Vegas is
Well,
taking it.
yeah,
Panthers run's coming to an end.
I hope so.
Of course, you hope
Only
so.
because
I mean,
no,
they
but
don't
also
play in Miami, but close enough.
Miami. But
You caught that. Damn.
that's not a lot of space. Um, what's it called? No, but like you remember when they get like I just haven't gotten it. Like I wanted when the Vegas go, especially they had do they still have a player that is Martinez?
I think so. I
Because
think
they
so.
did 2 years ago, and I was like,
Is
trying to
Martinez still
get into
there?
it to rooting, but it's like, with these teams like in the West Coast, it's like, yo, that shit does not rock. Like trying to watch a game,
Well, that's because
it's
you're
it's
clearly
not.
not betting the games. Once you're betting the
Well, yeah,
games,
I
it's
mean,
very easy to watch. I will tell
yeah,
you.
but I mean, the thing is, I can't I can't have that like not in your stomach and be invested into a game because I have to wake up at 6:45 to put Braden on the bus in the morning.
No, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
No, this is not for everybody, man. I'm telling you, this year when I'm sitting there and I gotta be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go meet a client, and it's 1:10, and I'm watching the last few minutes of Sharks Coyotes. That's when we've arrived in a bad place, man. Like I'm telling you, but I will tell you, when the Sharks score 3 goals and finish off my 10 legs stepped up, and
Yeah,
who
I
needs
know, but
sleep?
how do you get to yeah, you don't get you can't bottle that up for the morning.
Oh,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
oh, but oh, but you
That would be
can. Oh,
that's
but
the
you can.
ultimate that's the ultimate like 5 hour energy.
Well, that's the thing.
Like if
Yeah,
you could
like when you lose, that's when it's hard. When you win, it's fantastic. But when you lose, it makes the next day that much harder. Yes, Alec Martinez is in fact still on the Golden Knights.
is he?
He is.
And that's an it's two two Al Martinez cutting
No.
it up and but it was just but the thing is like yeah, like I said, is like I can't be a phony. Like if I'm not gonna like I'm not like rah like rah like that I can't do that. I
No,
have
I
to
feel
actually
you.
be invested and watch because I don't want to be a phony or whatever. And I never could. And then I tried it again with the Kraken. I could obviously that's just as bad if not worse.
Yeah.
And, and but yeah, I'm rooting for them. Like it's like they're brand new teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. The thing that sucks about hockey right now, or at least for me personally, is that to me there's so many more fun to watch teams in the West than in the East.
yeah.
Like
I mean that's
Vegas
look at
is
the
fun to
Nuggets. That's almost the
watch.
same.
Vegas is fun to watch. I love watching Edmonton. That's another team in the West. Obviously, last year's Stanley Cup winner with the Valerie Nichushkin under investigation or not under investigation. Who cares?
Nothing is. You mean nothing to see
here,
here?
exactly. But that was an exciting team to watch. Also a West Coast team, and like you said, it's like similar to the NBA. It's like that's why it makes me laugh with all these Nuggets fans like crying about not getting respect.
Like, nigga, what the hell do you think?
Like, yo, blame Adam Silver, bro. I'm not staying up until like I'll bet on the games, but I can't even watch Nuggets games. They don't even make their way onto national TV half the time.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know anything about the Heat because they're still fucking eating lunch. They're still on their lunch break
Yo,
when they're
word,
playing.
word. I mean, they're still cleaning up the dollar bills from when John Moran was at the strip club the night before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Speaking of that, before we go, John Moran, should we be concerned about him, or is it welfare check, or what?
I mean, I said it, man. This dude is like, this dude is an idiot. Like he's not. It's not like, it's not like like all those other NBA players like that got in trouble. Like
Yeah,
for
nah,
example,
he's
like J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, he's an idiot. He's stupid, but it's like immature stupid. Like this is a different
and it's
type of stupid.
very
This is
benign, immature. Like, I just feel like John Morant, whatever he's got going on, is not nearly as benign as some of the other stupid things we've seen. Like, like people who are notoriously stupid, like J.R. Smith. And I don't mean to shit on J.R. Smith, but like that
a
like,
stupid
you have
like
that
in terms of like
reputation.
doofy.
Yeah,
Doofy, not like intellectually, like
yeah,
because neither is John Morant. Like it's like, oh, watch, like a 17-year-old like who's drunk and like does dumb shit. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it's that type of, that's different. That's like, like if you're,
Like J.R.
you did a
Smith's
prank.
stupid is in my DMs. You trying to get the pipe and then get caught,
Yeah,
and it gets
exactly.
it gets made public.
And it's fun, and it's funny.
Yeah. Like John Morant's foolishness is, I'm here with a gun and I got cases because I'm punching 17-year-olds. Like that's not what you
it's
want.
like he's Florida man stupid.
Word. Where's he? He's originally from what? South Carolina. Because
Yes.
that was the other thing that I was looking at. I was like, yo, where's this dude originally from?
Nigga,
He feels very Florida, man.
he's in Murray State. He's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, like it's not even like, for example, like when what's this dude's name? The Deshaun Jackson. Like when they would always mention him with the gang members and
Yeah.
shit. Like he at least is from LA. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's, even if he like is stupid for like going back and trying to like, be a part of that shit. But at least he like grew up with these dudes and like that's where he's from.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like with like Philadelphia gangbangers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like John Morant is from North Carolina. He's in a random place.
Yeah. He's
where,
the
like,
opposite of, you could take the kid out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the kid.
Yeah, like
Like he's
he's
you can't
like somebody, like you can take the kid to the hood, but he's not gonna respect your curfew
yeah.
because you don't want to go into the hood and pick him up after the sun goes down.
Word. And I think the coach should get fired, by the way. And not because of John Morant, just because I don't think he's a very good coach, and just because
Who's our coach again?
I don't like how he looks. He doesn't look like an NBA coach. He looks like,
because he wears like a sweater. He wears
he
like
has
a
that beard.
like a sweater
He looks
vest,
like a
right?
football coach. He doesn't look like an NBA coach. Like he has like he looks like Mike Golick Jr. Like,
what's his name? Taylor Jenkins.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a like like an out of shape like
He looks like
strength
an
and
O-line
conditioning
coach.
at like yeah, he was.
He
okay.
looks like an O-line
okay.
coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if he's gonna
that's-
be involved with an NBA team, he looks like the strength and conditioning coach. Like he just
Yeah.
he doesn't exude a NBA head coach
A presence.
gravitas.
He doesn't have the presence.
Yeah,
and like,
not at all.
That's a team that needs presence. Like,
And
you know what I'm saying?
I hate to say this, but Tom Thibodeau is getting frighteningly close to fitting that same aesthetic. Like when
But
you're
I
the
think at
tough
least he
guy
has presence,
coach,
though.
when you're the tough guy coach and your team mirrors that tough guy attitude, then it works. But when you're the tough guy coach and your team is getting out-toughed and outsmarted, and you're just sitting on the sideline looking clueless in an ill-fitting zip-up, That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
But see,
gonna
that's what I'm
look
saying. Like,
clueless, at least
if
look clueless, but look good.
yeah, but that's the different. If like if you swapped out Jimmy Butler for Julius Randle, like maybe the record's a little bit worse, only because Julius Randle, whatever you say, he plays every day.
Yeah.
But Julius Randle, like he's like front running version of Jimmy Butler. Like when everything is going right and he's doing everything, and he's getting the ball and he's the man. He has a Jimmy Butler type of like toughness, demeanor to him. But the thing is, it's like he's too sensitive to when it's going bad. He's not gonna tell. He's not gonna be like. He's not confident enough to be like, nah, fuck you. This is how we're doing it. He's like taking it personally.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And like the difference is like when he wants to fight, when he gets in Emmanuel Quickly's face, it's like almost like he wants to fight it.
Yeah.
When Jimmy Butler gets in his teammate's face, it's because he wants him to get his shit together.
Yeah.
It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like the guy. It's like the guy who makes fun. The guy who makes fun of everybody else, and it's all good. But then when that guy makes fun of him back, he wants to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he's that type of person.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because Julius Randle is Word Life's guy. That's his ride or die. So you got to tiptoe with caution when you speak ill of Julius Randle. He will take these things seriously.
Well, he has to defend his honor in person.
And he has. I mean, I'll give him credit. He has, throughout all of the failings, he's stood up for Julius Randle. So
we'll get back to him failing.
Yeah, but he also wants to see more Jericho Sims and all these other guys that we're never gonna get on the court. So I don't know what to do with all that. But that is going to conclude the show. We'll hopefully have Word Life some point next week. He is currently watching The Little Mermaid. So we have to respect his wishes on this, the second day of Pride Month.
In one of the most inviting states